Welcome to another EncellaDome video, the channel helping you get smarter one video at a time. In this video, we're going to look at currency manipulation and more specifically currency devaluation. We're going to look at what it is, we're going to look at the reasons why some countries choose to implement it, we're going to look at the disadvantages that it has, and we're also going to look at its advantages. If you haven't watched our video on factors that influence foreign currency exchange, then please do so after watching this one because these two videos go hand in hand. Let's start by looking at what currency manipulation is. This is a monetary policy operation in which a country's central bank sells or buys foreign currency in exchange for each domestic currency with the intention to influence the exchange rate or the trade policy. In simpler terms, this is when the central bank takes certain actions to make the domestic currency either gain value or lose value. The most common form of currency manipulation is currency devaluation, when the domestic currency is intentionally made to lose its value compared to foreign currencies. That is what we're going to concentrate on in this video. Before we can look at some of the reasons why some countries opt to devalue their currencies, let's look at a small illustration. Imagine you're a businessman from Zambia, and imagine there are two countries where you buy t-shirts for resale in your own country. There's country A and there's country B. The currency used in country A is called the alpha, and the currency used in country B is called the bravo. Now let's imagine that when starting out, both countries have an equal exchange rate compared to the kwacha, and let's say that exchange rate is at 10. So meaning if you have one kwacha, it gets you 10 alpha and it also gets you 10 bravo. So if both countries are selling the t-shirts at the same price of 20 alpha and 20 bravo respectively, it means that whichever country you buy from, you're still going to get 50 t-shirts. So it wouldn't matter which of the two countries that you're going to buy from. Now, if country A were to decide to devalue their currency and the exchange rate goes to 16, it would mean that for one kwacha, you now get 16 alpha instead of the 10 alpha that you got initially. That means that for your initial 100 kwacha, instead of getting 1000 alpha as you did, you now get 1600 alpha. And with this 1600 alpha, instead of now buying 50 shirts like previously, you can now buy 80 shirts. So by simply devaluing their currency, country A has made themselves more competitive because buyers would rather buy from country A where they can get 80 shirts in 100 kwacha than country B where they would get 50 shirts for the same 100 kwacha. We can now look at the reasons why a country can decide to devalue its currency. The first reason is to boost exports. Just as we saw in the illustration, whenever a country devalues its currency, it makes its products more competitive because they're going to become cheaper compared to other countries, and as such, the country will see a boost in its exports to other countries. The second reason is to shrink trade deficits. Since devaluation will lead to an increase in exports and a reduction in imports, a country's balance of payments are going to shift in their favor, allowing them to reduce their trade deficit. The third reason a country can decide to devalue its currency is to reduce sovereign debt burdens. A government may be incentivized to encourage a weak currency policy if it has a lot of government-issued sovereign debt to service on a regular basis. If debt payments are fixed, a weak currency makes these payments effectively less expensive over time. Take, for example, a government that has to pay $1 million each month in interest payments on its outstanding debts. If that same $1 million of national payments becomes less valuable, it would be easier to cover that interest. For example, in this scenario, if the domestic currency is devalued to half of its initial value, then that $1 million debt payment will now only be worth $500,000. We'll now look at some of the advantages that come with devaluing a currency. The first one is that it boosts exports and foreign investment. Since exports become cheaper for foreign buyers, they will be likely to buy more in bulk than they did when the currency was stronger. At the same time, things like property and assets will become cheaper for foreign investors. The second advantage is that the increased exports lead to a reduction in the country's trade deficit, and in some cases, it can even result in a trade surplus. The third advantage is that when the currency is devalued, then the central bank can reduce interest rates, since it no longer has to prop up the currency with high interest rates. Unfortunately, there are disadvantages to devaluing a currency. The first one is that imports become more expensive. The devaluation will mean that imports such as fuel, food, and raw materials will become more expensive. The second disadvantage is inflation. If imports become more expensive, then it means that citizens will need to pay more for basic commodities like fuel and food that the government imports. If the price of these go up, then the average cost of living for every citizen goes up. The third disadvantage is that it reduces the purchasing power of citizens whenever they go abroad, so it becomes more expensive even to go on a holiday abroad. Having looked at all that, imagine you were the governor of your country's central bank. Would you make the decision to devalue the currency, or would you rather let economic forces run their natural course? You can leave your answers in the comments section. If you love books but can't seem to have enough time to read, then try AudioBooks. It's a service that allows you to download audiobooks of your favorite titles, and you can enjoy these on your iOS, Android, Sonos, Kindle, and Alexa enabled devices. If you have multiple devices, whenever you switch to a device, you can pick up wherever you left off on the other device. Start your 30-day free trial and get 1 audiobook plus 2 Audible originals. If you don't like the audiobook, you can swap it for free. After the trial period, membership is only $14.95 a month, and you get 1 audiobook and 2 Audible originals each month. Check out the affiliate links in the video description to start your free trial today and get a 30-day commitment-free guarantee. If you would like to advertise your products or services on our platform, then don't hesitate to contact us. You can send us an email, or you can directly message us on our Facebook page, and we'll be able to get in touch with you and find out how best we can help your business grow. If you like what we do here and would like to sponsor us so that we can continue producing educative content like this one, then consider becoming a Patreon by going to patreon.com/EncellaDome and become a Patreon so that you can keep us financially healthy. We've come to the end of the video, and thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends so that they can also benefit 1 or 2 things.